parts in time and space, and to the ability to control them. If the brain can find them, it can usually control them. So the reason that that's important is if your brain can't find and control different areas of the body, then you don't have access to that when you need it. It's really important. So the body, the brain has an easier time making that connection if you focus on one motion at a time. There are times to integrate movements and there's time to isolate movement. And so today we're just going to do some work isolating movement and reinforcing proprioception to all of the joints in our body. So we're going to begin by sitting, and this work is, it's a great, it's a little bit slow, but it's also a little bit mentally active. So it's just a really great thing to do at least once a week, to take the time to reinforce that connection, that mind-body connection. Okay, so we're going to start with our ankles. We're just going to go ahead and support your leg up, and we're going to circle. We're going to do both directions, so it doesn't matter which you choose first. As you're doing this, I want you to really focus on making the biggest circle that you can, pushing all the edges of movement. As you do this, you may find you get a little bit of a cramp in one border of the movement. And that just means that those tendons moving up to your knee from your toes are a little bit restricted in that movement. So it's even more important that you really push that boundary. So now we're going to reverse, really think about the movement, and really try to get every little bit of movement that you can as you do this. As you go, you'll find it gets a little bit easier. This has to be done really slowly. Okay, so we're going to let that foot rest. We're going to come back to it in a minute, but let's work on the ankle on the other foot, on the other leg. You'll find that they are not the same. We are not symmetrical. It's worthwhile to try for that symmetry, but we have dominant sides and different ways that we use each side of the body. And so you will find that one foot is easier or has greater range of motion than the other one. Or maybe internal is easier on one and external is easier on the other. Okay, let's reverse that movement. Search for every little bit that you can get. This is super active. Good. You'll feel that pulling from your knee down to the tips of your toes, especially those little toes. Okay, let's shake that out. We're going to come back to the first leg. Now, your tibia and your fibula have a little bit of rotation up to the knee. So we're going to explore that movement. So you're going to point your toes in, bend your knee, and then you're going to move your toes out and straighten the knee. Point your toes in and bend. Point your toes out and straighten. This is some work. In and bend. Externally rotate and straighten. This can even cause a little bit of a shake. It is active work. And straighten. Let's do one more. Straighten. Turn the toes in and bend. And then just shake that out. Okay, good. Let's do the other one. Okay, let's start with a straight knee. Point your toes in and bend. Point your toes out and straighten. In and bend. Out and straighten. And my little toes are thinking of cramping. It's been a minute since I've done this, so I thought, oh, it's time. And bend, and it is so good to get full range of motion into these joints, just something we don't do through daily life. Just out. If you have a cramp in one of your feet or your toes, that just means that is movement your brain isn't really familiar with. And it is very worthwhile to make your brain a little more familiar with this movement. Remember that we are not our bodies and we are not our minds, but they're both tools. They must be trained, they must be taught so that they are good servants. So that we use them to their fullest capacity. And so that ultimately they don't create us pain. That's probably the biggest reason to train them, so that they bring joy and not pain. Okay, then shake that out. Good. Okay, let's put both feet on the floor and we're gonna work on toes. So this can also cause cramps. And if it's your first time exploring this movement, you may just find you don't have control there. But with time, you will definitely get it. Okay, we're gonna start with holding our big toes down and we're gonna tap the 4 little toes on each foot. And it may take you a little bit of searching in your brain to find this movement. Just tap up and down. Okay. Then we're going to hold the 4 toes down and we're going to tap just the big ones. You'll find that one is easier than the other. It's really important to have this control of the feet. We're on our feet a lot. We really depend on them. We want these tendons to be flexible. We want them to be able to do what they were designed to do. Okay, now we're going to hold all of them up and we're going to hold those 4 up while we tap the big ones down. Good. Sometimes that first little one wants to go with it. But with time and a little bit of patience, you will gain greater control over those muscles. Okay, now we're going to hold the big one up and tap the 4 down. That's a little trickier sometimes. Takes some focus. Now, focus is not just good for the body, but it's so good for the mind. As we are focusing on one area of the body, it's a form of meditation. It's a form of training the mind. And very good training for the mind. Okay, good. All right. So we're gonna come more to the upper body, so just sit comfortably. Actually, after doing that, you should find that you're able to sit a little bit more comfortably. Okay, let's go to the rib cage. So with this, we're not looking for any movement from our pelvis. We're just looking for movement from the rib cage. So I'm engaging my abdominal muscles. I'm keeping my pelvis in a neutral position. And I'm gonna press my rib cage forward. Obviously, it's not gonna move very much, just a tiny, tiny movement. And then I'm gonna press it backwards and forwards. You'll find muscles there that you probably aren't used to engaging to create this movement. And press forward and press it backwards. Let's do one more. Forward and backwards. Good. Okay, very good. All right, now we're going to go to our shoulders. We're going to do more shoulder work in a different position, but right now we're just going to bring arms out to the side. We're going to try and keep them as level as possible, so not one higher than the other. And we're just going to, as one hand supinates and opens up, the other one is going to go the opposite direction. So we're just going to, like you're going to wring out your shoulders. It's fine to have some side to side movement with that. Really pay attention to how your shoulders feel. You're pressing your hands as far away from each other as they can get. You'll find one wants to go higher than the other. This is also so great for those muscles that attach the rib cage to the pelvis to get a nice stretch in them. Very good. Just one on each side. Good. Okay. And shake and roll your shoulders out. Hey, let's come to the neck. So we've done this before. This is the way I like to roll out the neck. If you just bring your chin to one shoulder and imagine that you can scrape along the clavicle with your chin. So this is very active through here. We're trying to find every bit of movement that we can. Then we're going to bring your chin to the other shoulder. Pull your shoulders down away from the ears. And then you're going to bring your ear to the shoulder and allow your hip to roll around to the back and bring your other ear to the other shoulder. Then bring your chin to the other shoulder and really actively bring it as close to your collarbone as you can while you're actively pulling your shoulders away. Stretching all kinds of muscles that attach to the first and second ribs, to the clavicle, and also to the back of the head. Head or chin to the other shoulder, and ear to the other shoulder, and back, bring the other ear to the shoulder. Now let's reverse the motion. Come back, ear to shoulder. Deep breath here. Sit up straight, engage your abdominal muscles. Bring your chin to your shoulder. Chin to the clavicle. Sit up straight. Chin to shoulder. Ear to shoulder. Back. ear to shoulder, chin, and really stretch the back of the neck. Pull your shoulders down and come up. Okay, so good for all of those muscles that attach the head to the rib cage. Okay, now we're going to come into a hands and knees position. We want to stack the hands underneath the shoulders and the knees underneath the pelvis, okay? So as we're going to start with our wrists, and we're just going to rock forward and backwards here. But it's really important that you have your hands fully engaged with the mat. So the base of the knuckles, they're into the mat. You're really pressing them in. The whole hand is in contact with the mat. We're going to start by just rocking back and forth. And feel in the hand, in the wrist, and in the forearm, what might be tight or what might also just feel weak. If you kind of get a zing or a weakness as you're picking up a heavy pan in the kitchen or something heavy, you may just have some muscles that are over tight and some that are weak, and this will help with that. Okay. Good. All right, now we're going to place the palms up and the back of the hand on the mat. Now this can be an uncomfortable position if you haven't trained it. It's actually a really great one to train. Everyone's extensor muscles tend to be tight, but you may have to work up to being able to do this. You may not be able to put your full weight on the back of your wrist. So if you do, if that's really uncomfortable, just take some of that pressure away by pushing through your knees and lifting up on the upper body. So you're not putting as much force through the back of the wrist. Okay, so we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna rock forward and backwards. If you want to intensify the stretch a little bit, you can wiggle your fingers, curl them together. This is a great stretch for me, as it's a great counterpost to what I do a lot of time every day. So it's one I like to do often. You'll feel that stretch clear up to your elbows. It's really wonderful. Good. Okay. Now we're going to take the palms down again, but the fingertips are going to go out. And this time we're going to circle. Just going to use our hips to repel that motion, and we're just circling. And just feel if some muscles, let's reverse, are a little bit tighter than others. Good. And this time we're going to press them in and do the same thing. Just rotate around in a circle. And reverse. Good. Okay. Now staying on hands and knees, we're going to work on shoulder and hip range of motion. I really love this. Okay. So we're going to bring, so you'll be on one hand, you're going to bring your thumb up. Now, it's really important here that we're not arching our back. We don't want the range of motion to come from our spine. We want it to come from our shoulder joint. So we're engaging our abdominal muscles, creating a little bit of a posterior tilt in the pelvis, really brace the spine with your abdominal muscles as we do this. We're gonna bring our thumb up. We're gonna rotate, so palm is down as you come around. And when you're a little past 90, you're going to bring palm up and then bring the palm down and then thumb up. Really reach your fingertips away. Remember, we're engaging our abdominal muscles, supporting our spine, not allowing extension in the back. Rotate and come down. Really reach away, thumb up. And then remember, we're finding every border of movement that we can find. Rotate, palm up, and then come down. Okay, and you can come up and feel the difference in your shoulders after you've done just one side. One just feels so much more open and free, and the other one is excited to have the same experience. So we're gonna plant our wrist in one. If this bothers your wrist, it can be done while sitting up. You can sit up and do this movement. You just don't have the same gravity component, but it's still great range of motion. I'll show you how you can do that. So you're just gonna thumb up, you come across the body, reaching away, come up, reach away. So we're not getting any movement from our spine. It's all coming from our shoulder. Rotate. So our palm is facing towards the opposite wall. And then we're coming down. Now, as you're sitting up doing this, you have to really make sure you're not getting any movement in your shoulders. That's one advantage that you have as you are on hands and knees, is that it isolates those shoulders. You cannot get compensation from the other side. It's stuck to the ground. Okay, so we're gonna reach up, reach away, wind around, palm is facing down, but now we're going to flip it. So it's facing up, great stretch, reach like you're gonna reach behind you, and then you're going to bring it up. Let's go the other directions. Okay, fingers reaching away, rotate, so palm is down, a thumb pointing up, and then bring it back. Rotate, palm is down, thumb reaches up. Okay, and then shake that out. Okay, we're gonna do hips on hands and knees as well. You can do it standing up with a pole, or if you're just really solid on your feet, it can be done. But this is a great way to do it on. I'll turn to the side. So you're going to start by bringing the knee forward. Now these muscles are not muscles we use that often. So just this very act of trying to pull your knee to your chest is so good. Then you're going to bring it out, trying to not find movement with the spine, but just with the hips. Then we're going to drop the knee, move it back, and then we're not getting movement from the spine. You can see how that could happen pretty easily. And then pull your knee up, bring it out, drop the knee, and then let's reverse it. Press up through the heel, bring the knee around, bring the leg parallel to the floor, and then bring it to the chest. Let's do one more. Press through the heel, bring the knee up so that it's parallel, in and towards the chest. Good. Are you ready to do the next one? Roll your wrists out if they're getting a little bit tender from spending time on them. We're almost done here. Okay, we're gonna bring our knee to the chest as much as we can. We're gonna bring it out and parallel to the floor. Drop the knee, press through the heel, and bring the knee back up to the chest. Drawing a big circle with the knee out to the side. Big circle with the knee as you can. Movement not coming from the spine. And then back to the chest. And then let's reverse it. Press up through the heel. Bring the knee up. The leg is parallel. Big circle with the knee. Bring the knee to the chest. Press up through the heel. Big circle with the knee. Leg is parallel. Bring the knee to the chest. Okay. Both of those hips should feel a little warmer. I noticed that I've got some restriction in my right one, so we're gonna spend a little more time. So this would be a great time if you have balls and that's what you like to roll that hip out. That's probably where I will go next. But now we're gonna sit on our toes. Now, if you have, a lot of people have a lot of tightness through here, making it really difficult to put pressure on their toes, but it's actually a really good thing to be able to do. So if you are able to sit on your toes, then that's gonna be a passive stretch that we're gonna work on while we do some shoulder work. So if you're not able, we're gonna do both. We're gonna see what is more comfortable. So we're gonna start by doing an angel movement. So we're gonna bring, our palms are gonna face towards the back. I'm gonna have you engage these abdominal muscles. Back of the neck is long. Try to keep the shoulders even. So we're not, so one's not higher than the other. Try to keep them even. So the palms are facing towards the back of you. Your stomach muscles are engaged. We're not hyperextending our back. Okay, so arms out straight. And then you're gonna bend the elbow and bring the hands in back of you. This can be a challenging movement. And then we're gonna bring them back. Then you're gonna flip them and bring them up overhead. Let's do that a few more times. So palms forward, rotate, palms back, and then keep your elbows high as you bring your hands in back of you. And then palms are in back, bring them straight out to 180, flip them, palms forward. Remember, our abdominal muscles are engaged so that we are not arching our low back. One more flip, palms are back. Try to keep your elbows as high as you can while bringing your hands in back of you. And then go ahead and shake the shoulders out. Okay, we're gonna do a little more lat work. So this time I want you to tuck your toes. We want to bend them this direction. It's really important to have flexibility both directions with your feet. So now we're on our toes, stretching the back of our leg. You may feel this in your arches. It's really good. Okay, so this time we're just going to bring our hands out to about 90, and we're engaging our abdominal muscles so we're not arching our back. And we're engaging our lats. The goal is to get our elbows slightly in front of our hands. So we don't want to be like this. We really want to press those hands back. Really active. That will fire up the lats. Okay, so we're going to just extend the arms
And like you're on a two-dimensional, I actually have people do this sometimes on the floor. Like you're on a two-dimensional surface, you're gonna pull your shoulders down. You really wanna work to get your elbows slightly in front of your hands, and you're gonna bring them down as far as you can. Elbows are engaged, really engage your abdominal muscles so that you're not getting this movement from your spine. You may be feeling your toes at this point in time as you're sitting on them. We're just gonna try for 2 more of these. And then like you're on a two-dimensional surface and the fingernails are on the floor, bring your arms back. Really work to keep those hands in back of the elbows. They're not, but we're trying. And then straight up. And one more time down. Okay, so your shins may be on fire, your lats may be on fire. That's a really great exercise. Okay, let's bring one foot forward and your back on your knee. If you need to put something underneath your knee in back, do it. That's a really nice thing to do for your knees. Washcloth, hand towel works great. They also make those little foamy things for that purpose. Okay, so we're going to just spend a second. I'm going to have you posteriorly tilt your pelvis and then anteriorly tilt it. We're just going to rock back and forth and feel what is tight there. I am very tight in the front of my around the ASIS, and I'm like, all of those muscles are really tight. So that's something I need to roll out today. Just rock back and forth. Okay. Now I'm gonna have you press through the knee. So you're gonna go back, and then we're gonna bend the knee. Press through that knee and straighten it, and then bend it. We're just gonna go back and forth, stretching out our hip flexors. I ran this morning, so might really need some stretching. Okay. This time, while we're back, I'm gonna have you with that front leg extended, pull your toes back. You can even assist and pull them back more if you would like. This is also a great balance exercise. And then point, and then come forward. Okay, now we're gonna switch sides. Front foot is forward, well, whichever is the opposite one that you just did. You're gonna just come forward and back. You're gonna bend that front leg and straighten it. Really find the floor with all the joints of your toes. Actually feels really great. And press long. And then we're just gonna tilt. We're gonna posteriorly tilt the pelvis and then anteriorly tilt. Just get some good movement. Also, just kind of train the brain on what neutral could feel like as we go back and forth. Also finding what's really tight. Often this anterior hip flexor area is really tight, keeping us from having a neutral pelvis. One more time. Come back to neutral. Okay, this time we're gonna pull the front leg, the toes up, stretching the calves. That feels very nice. Really balanced through the back foot. Okay, very good. Okay, now we're gonna spend a little bit more time on the outside of the hips. This might be more for my benefit than anyone else. This is definitely where I need a little bit of work today. If you have your balls handy, I should have grabbed mine.
You can put them under this hip, this front hip, while you're doing this movement, or you can work up towards that. Okay, so we're at 90 degrees. We have the front leg coming straight out from our femur and in 90, and the back leg is straight out this direction in 90. There's a straight line between our feet. You can draw a line through the bottom of the foot, through the knee, and to the other foot. We're trying to sit up as straight here as we can. Our shoulders are down, back of the neck is long. We're engaging these abdominal muscles. We're not dumping into our low back, but really supporting our back with our stomach muscles. And we're just gonna spend a minute here trying to get that front. Mine clearly is not going very far today. Front knee to the ground. We can even press through our hands and lift our upper body as we reach our rib cage up, out over the front leg, intensifying that stretch just a little bit. Good. Okay, now we're going to try our very best to pick up the back heel. So if yours is like mine, it's not really happy to do that today, but I really wanted to, so I'm gonna spend a minute here. I'm going to pick up that back heel. If yours doesn't want to, you can assist with that. Just pick it up, and then as you let it go, control it down. And that will prepare it to be able to pick, it'll prepare that glute med to be able to pick that heel up on its own. We're sitting up as straight as we can, trying to pick up that back heel. Such a great exercise, really important exercise. Okay, you can set that down, and this time, press through your hand, and you'll have to come down a little bit as you pick up that back leg. Ideally, we would pick it up parallel to the ground. That's a little bit of work. Definitely requires engaging the abdominal muscles. And set that down. Okay, now we're gonna pick up the front leg. We do this in a lot of classes because it's really one of my favorite exercises because we just don't use our hips in this way. But we really do need to. And then put that down. Okay, let's switch sides. Okay, just spend a minute. This hip is not as tight as the other one was for me. Can kind of compare how yours were. All right, press through your hands, lift your rib cage up and over that front knee. Take a deep breath here. Feels so great. So good to move in different ways than we do throughout the day. Hey, you're gonna pick up that back heel. And you might make a mental note. Which side was easier? Which is a little more challenging? Maybe work a little bit more on that challenging side. Okay, set that down. We're gonna pick up the whole back leg. Try to keep it parallel to the floor and sit up as straight as you can. Take a deep breath and come down. Good. Kind of move back and forth. And this time we're going to pick up the front leg. Hold it. If you need to help support, you can. That's still a great range of motion. You can support that heel with your hand. But just, even if it's just for a second, attempt to hold that front leg up and control those muscles. Okay, we're going to end with a spinal twist. Just getting a little bit more movement into the spine. This is going to be an active
twist. So let's start with a straight leg. And then cross the other one over. Now, you can use your spinal muscles to turn, or you can use your hands to turn. We're gonna start by, your hands are there, but they're just supporting, they're not really providing a lot of traction here. Use your spinal muscles to do as much of this twist as you can. We want to train them to be able to do this movement. And then you can add a little bit extra force with your hands, tractioning, looking at the back wall. It actually feels like such a great stretch. Both active and passive stretches are wonderful, as long as we do both. Okay. All right. So now we're going to straighten the other leg, cross the other knee over. And at first, we're just going to use our spinal muscles to turn as far as we can. Engage those muscles on either side of your spine to turn. And take a few deep breaths here. And then you can use your elbow and your backhand to turn, make this a little bit more, a little bit deeper of a stretch. Not a movement that our spinal muscles can create on their own. Good. I hope that as you move throughout the day that you'll find you have a little more control, a little more awareness of each of your joints, and that movement just feels better. Thank you for joining me today. We will see you again soon.